What's up, everybody? It's another Mundane Monday with Ballbreakers Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and YouTube. Here's Floppy Rock.
Thanks, Trout. We're back in the studio. I actually feel almost better than ever. I feel really good. Maybe the coffee kicking in the right way has something to do with it, but we're back.
I didn't even drink any of your coffee. If anybody's seeing on the camera, I'm sure you could see that. There's about... There's really not much out of that coffee.
Maybe 2 sips.
That must be some powerful coffee, I'll tell you right
Feels
now.
good.
It's
Good.
definitely
That's
a
good.
coffee kicking in, for sure.
Yeah.
It's got to be the coffee.
You don't feel it on the first 2 sips? Like after 10 seconds, 20 seconds?
Sometimes. It really depends on the coffee.
I feel
But
like
a Dunkin' cold brew can do that. I agree.
I feel like my headache doesn't go away, but I feel it phasing out, if that makes
Headache?
sense. Yeah, like a withdrawal
get
from
like
caffeine.
Ooh, that's not good.
I don't get it very strong. I will get like 1 headache a day from like caffeine withdrawal, but I have been trying to wean off of it.
Do you
But
think that's a mental thing? You're just like,
I think it's
No.
I need caffeine.
Because
You think it's a
I get a
physical
bad.
addiction?
Like,
Oh, yeah. Well, you get it bad. You're a mental midget, so.
yeah.
I think it's part of
drink,
it.
I'll have to drink coffee like 9 o'clock at night just to get rid of my headache.
Yeah, that's really a problem.
Yeah, whatever.
That's like actually
Everyone
like.
has problems. That's just one of them. Like,
That's like
Mm,
dependency.
yeah, let them have it.
I know.
Everyone has their demons,
So what?
and
Everyone
yours is
has-
drinking
I-
a little bit of caffeine.
Yeah. So
A
what? I
little
like
bit.
caffeine.
It's going to be a lot more than a little bit.
You don't know how much caffeine I probably intake a day.
I feel like that's not something you should brag about.
I'm not bragging. I'm
He's just letting
like,
us know.
Now he's bragging.
What's wrong with you today?
Yo,
Never mind.
take it easy.
How much caffeine do you
I
take?
don't know.
What the hell?
What do
I
you
have
mean you
about
don't
2
know?
cups of coffee, a Monster, and my pre-workout. So that's probably like
A lot.
800.
That just can't be good for you.
Okay.
He's young.
Yeah, you're young, man. You'll figure it out.
I'm thinking about so I do think there is a mental aspect to it. I think to myself I should be prepared for the withdrawal symptoms because I feel like they are very real, and like kind of be prepared with strategies to like phase against it.
Or
And
what
also-
about- go ahead.
And also I just wanted to bring up a lot of people try to cut it out cold turkey, and I'm one of those people. I'm going to try like weaning it out. You know what I mean? Like usually I'll have 2 cups of coffee a day, so I'm going to like
Just,
phase
have
it.
one the next day.
Yeah, start doing 1 and stuff.
I mean, yeah, if you just stick to 1 for a little bit, eventually you'll get used to that. And then you could go every other day. And then once a week. And then you're good.
Withdrawal symptoms are no fun of anything.
Yeah, you should ask like drug addicts.
They probably have it the worst with everything. I mean, you can even have a sugar.
That's a bold statement.
What?
You said they probably have it the worst. Like,
What, the withdrawal symptoms?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, right?
For sure.
I mean, some people,
Yeah.
some of them even say. I mean, I used to watch. What was that show? Celebrity Rehab, and I think Vanilla Ice was on there, and he was like, basically saying, "I'm gonna die without this shit."
Right. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
I
crazy.
said probably because
Don't know the fact.
I don't know if there's another one that could be worse. I'm not trying to rate addictions here, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
there even is like a food addiction too. Like I get food addiction sometimes. I'll go on a binge eating addiction
Yeah,
a
you're
lot.
telling
Did
me.
you guys ever watch that show like My Strange Addiction?
That show is great.
I
I've
specifically
seen like clips of it.
I
yeah.
specifically remember a girl who was addicted to eating drywall.
I
saw that.
Dude,
Her whole house was like ripped up.
It was
She
really
was
weird.
just eating drywall.
I saw one too where it was a girl that was addicted to eating plastic bags. That one, I just can't even.
Are there
I
even
mean-
any nutrients? And you know,
If
Wow.
anything, it would be the direct opposite. But that's an interesting show.
mm-hmm.
You got to like really be in the mood to watch that because a lot of it kind of just makes your stomach turn.
Mm-hmm.
What, man?
I was just thinking, like, imagine I was just picturing myself waking up and just like picking the drywall and like eating it and like grabbing a plastic bag, or like I go food shopping and I just start eating the plastic bag instead of the food.
Like, my addiction's really kicking in. I'm gonna punch my
Yeah.
wall and eat
Like,
the
how much-
drywall.
Is one full plastic bag gonna give you enough to like for dinner?
I've never seen the episode, but I assume she eats like 6 at a time.
Yeah.
And then you got to eat food on top of it.
Do you
like
think
you said,
she has
nutrients?
Do you think she has a preference in plastic bags? Like, oh, I'm gonna have a
like a ShopRite bag? Is like
or
elite.
today I'm gonna have a Glad trash bag, plastic bag. I don't know.
Glad.
Dude, oh my god, I think about kleptomaniacs, right? Are they the ones that have trouble stealing stuff? Like they
Yeah,
have
they
trouble
just
stopping
steal all the
stealing?
time.
Yeah. Could you imagine just like, oh, I have to have like these Cheez-Its, and you just put them in your pocket?
I don't think that they're necessarily stealing because they have to have it. I think they're stealing only because they need to steal something.
Right.
It's more about the satisfaction of stealing something,
Or like getting that high.
That's
like-
interesting,
a-
right? If
That's
you were
100% like a mental.
If you were a
thing.
teenager, stole something for the first time, and it was like the highest mental high you've had in your entire life, could you imagine if that was the start of an addiction? Oh my goodness. That's wild.
Well, most of that. I mean,
But I'm saying, like, you always think about, like, in taking something. Like, imagine just that action is, like, the beginning of something. It's fascinating.
like when you were young and you just realized at that moment, like that's what you were.
That mental high could have led to an addiction state, yeah. Of
Yeah.
something that you physically did, not
So-
something that you, like, took.
So none of us are like licensed physicians or researchers or anything, but I wonder if there's like a certain chemical that just induces you to want to steal, right? Holy shit. Like, oh, I have a serotonin deficiency and my only way that my other part of my brain can make these chemicals is if I steal.
They mention that a lot, right, when they talk about, like, your emotions and stuff and how it's all about, like, a mixed chemical reaction.
Sorry, I just freaked out. I just broke my pen. Oh, this is my favorite pen.
Is the
It's
gonna leak?
It's a Sharpie S gel pen, 0.7
Oh my-
on the.
that's the
oh
best
my-
pens.
Is it gonna leak or the clip thing?
No,
No, you just broke the clip.
The clip
Oh
broke,
my lord.
But it really just sets the tone for the whole pen if the clip is still there.
but my lord. This day just went to shit. I'm just kidding.
So serotonin is the chemical that is released from your brain when you're happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right?
like
Like,
serotonin like triggers your happiness and
Okay. Because I'm thinking most of the things like stealing or beating someone up, for example, people that do that frequently, I want to think, generally speaking, that they have a massive absence of serotonin. But then when they do something like that, it's like a massive, overwhelming feeling of serotonin. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
it's so funny. Whenever we talk about something like this, it's like we really are just like four dumb idiots.
Yeah.
What the hell
No,
do we
but
know?
you're
Four stupid idiots.
You know
I
what?
was gonna say my body doesn't like release much serotonin.
But there's things that you do, like drink caffeine, that bring it
slap
to
it,
you.
right?
What was so funny about that?
Never mind.
That
It
was
wasn't
pretty,
that funny.
That was really,
Mhm.
honestly, pretty depressing when you put it like that.
What did you just mention, Earl?
I'm not even sure. I was just started to think about something else.
Yeah,
damn, is our
talking
friend
about
Ryan
addiction.
okay?
How Doc was talking about how he has pain in his life or whatever, and I saw
I didn't say
something.
pain.
Well, basically, existentially,
No,
you have pain.
No.
No, I
Because
don't
it's
think
there
you-
in the absence of serotonin.
I mean, you almost just said the only thing you're happy about in life is caffeine.
Yeah, pretty much.
What gives you?
And
What
then
genuinely gives you a serotonin boost?
When I come here and see your face on a Sunday.
Really?
In our
That's
fresh Ball Breakers New Year.
Sometimes I'll walk in and you'll tell me to go fuck myself.
Well, that's you. I never said
That-
I didn't say
See,
I
he
like,
didn't say you.
I didn't
so
say I like coming in and seeing you on Sundays.
I do feel like, you know what I feel like right now? Like we're going into a swim meet. And you know how like swimmers all have like matching gear and hoodies and shit before they go in?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we look like right
why
now.
do you tell anyone listening who's not watching on YouTube why we feel like that? Doc
Well,
just kind of touched on it.
Anybody that's listening
bad.
and not watching on YouTube, I'm going to tell you that we're all wearing Ball Breakers hoodies.
Hoodies.
They're exclusive,
They-
unfortunately.
They unfortunately are exclusive.
Got
Who
them at a great
knows-
deal.
Who knows down the line they may be
But they're very
commercially
nice
available.
and very comfy. And if you are watching on YouTube, I think I like them a lot.
So listen,
It's
on top
funny
of
because
that,
we're matching.
Earl, you take it from here. Let's mention our new outbreaks and
Just
which-
don't like how Chris and Rocco have their strings like tied. Like,
I feel like the best part about the hoodies is that
Is
they'd
this.
have nice strings. I
Yeah.
feel like they
I
shouldn't be
I
tied.
was testing it out. Does this not look right?
well,
I think it takes away from
What is
does it
right?
from the strings. Who are we to
Okay.
say?
What is right is what's
Go on.
most aesthetically pleasing, right?
But isn't that all opinion based?
Yes, but that's why I'm asking for opinions.
Okay, well, I'm not undying this.
If you don't, I mean that's,
that's fine. I was just saying. I just personally didn't like it.
I'm testing it out.
'Cause
We
I-
just
I
got 'em
mean,
today.
I'll
We got a
both
swim
think
meet
that
later.
these
All right, everyone, shut up.
strings are
Shut up.
nice.
Shut up.
Earl,
Okay.
take it out
Take it
from
over,
here,
man.
man.
If you guys follow us on Instagram, if not, your fault. It's your problem. But
Oh,
I did get on there. What? If you're not following us on Instagram and you're listening, that's on you. Why
Mhm.
wouldn't you follow us?
I'm just saying, you're not gonna come harsh at them.
No, I do.
maybe-
Sometimes people need to hear
Tough
something
love
like
is
that.
good.
Would you please follow? That's what I'm gonna request of you guys. Would you please follow?
Well,
Go
if you're
ahead.
listening, yeah, imagine you're following. If you stumble upon this, follow us, please. I guess. Sorry.
Ball Breakers.
We have
Pod.
shirts.
We learn matters on this podcast. Go ahead.
We have new shirts. I went on Instagram onto the story of Ball Breakers podcast the other day. Talked about these shirts. They are very good, very nice quality. We hooked them up. Well, not we didn't hook them up. Our friend over at Township T-Shirt Company, right in Washington Township, a local small company, great guy, a family-owned business, all that stuff. They hooked us up with shirts. We're bringing you guys the best product we possibly can. We're selling them $20. I don't like to say this because I don't want to feel like I'm overinflating our podcast, but they are selling very quickly. I'm not going to lie. Thank you guys. If you guys DM'd us, you wanted to get a shirt, we have your order in. It really does mean a lot. It's really our only source of getting any income. It's not always about income, but it's nice to have. So it's our only source.
Really has nothing to do about the income. It's really just nice that we have our own merchandise for once. Like I feel like we had a trial with our first shirt, and it really, there was just problems with cost and just selling a t-shirt for too much, and it was just hard for us to get a good cost on our t-shirt at first. So after talking to other people, and you said Township T-shirt, correct?
Township T-shirt Company, right in Washington Township, New Jersey.
Township
Shout
T-shirt
out
company
Township T-shirt
gave us
Company.
unbelievable t-shirts, and again, the hoodies are exclusive, but we do plan on expanding over time, and these should be way more forgiving in the washer, to our understanding, and should be way more long-term. We're just hoping they work out, and also we got them at a cheaper price for you guys as well. So we're hoping, feel free to DM us, just like Earl said, and we're excited to see what gets started new in our new endeavors coming up, because this is just the beginning. First we start with t-shirts. Who knows what's next?
So we do know what's next. And fortunately enough for our
it's a yacht
listeners,
in the metaverse.
Mhm.
fortunately enough, we do know what's coming next. And you guys do have two ways to support us now. So one would be in buying a t-shirt. Two, we're hosting a workout, X Athletics, Brooklawn, New Jersey. It's going to be Ball Breakers. You guys, like we talked about last episode, you guys get a chance to work out with our humble king Rocco. I mean, that should be,
Skinny legend.
most people want to work out with Rocco. They're going to pay upwards of $200.
I hope there's somebody there who doesn't know me. I would love to meet somebody new, and I would love for them to get to know how truly.
You're definitely gonna meet new people.
Oh yeah. You already told. I forgot that there was
There's
actually
gonna
4 or
be-
5. Yeah,
There's going to be people you never met before.
dude, they don't even know. So you guys are used to me. Like, I'm very eccentric. I'm very loud, obnoxious sometimes, but not in a respectful way.
So yeah, we got our details hashed out. It's $10 to come work out. We're gonna be getting supported another way through you guys. Show up, show us what it's about. We'd love to meet everybody who wants to come, who listens. So be there.
We want to get pumped.
Mhm. That's really nice.
I
I'm
think
looking
you would look
forward
good
to
in workout clothes.
Like, what kind of workout clothes? What do you mean?
Sports shorts, nice little tank, muscle shirt tank.
like tights.
No,
Yeah.
I'd like to see Chris in Rocky Balboa's outfit running on the beach next to Apollo Creed. Like I'm
Oh,
talking crop
yeah.
top, short
Yup.
shorts,
Mhm.
tube
Mhm.
socks.
Running on the beach is incredibly hard sometimes.
You got to run on the
very
hard
hard.
sand is the issue.
like where the water is.
Yeah, because if
Mirror
you run
meets,
into
yeah.
soft sand, you're going to be exerting like at least 30 times more energy.
But think about how good that is probably for like your muscles if you were to keep the same distance.
I know it's really good for your feet. If anybody works out all the time in like regular shoes, you can like develop calluses, but running in the sand will essentially erode that callus you've.
Because of the cushion, I guess, right? Of the sand?
No, well, like the graininess of the sand would serve as like a exfoliation for your calluses if you have any.
Oh,
I
okay.
used to run on the beach when I was playing soccer, and one of the things I always noticed that it was better when it rained days prior.
You got to bring that a little closer if
Mhm.
you're going to hold it, man.
You got to bring that a little closer if you're gonna hold
You're
it
good.
in.
You're
You're a
good.
rookie.
Anyways, go ahead. Days prior.
No, I was gonna say when it rains and then running on the beach, the sand is real flat and it was the best time to run. There really wasn't much to say after that. I was just making a point for that to be known.
Thank you. for that.
Yeah,
So
you're
listen,
Anyway,
we know what's new with Ball Breakers. You know, we've got shirts. We've got an event coming up February 19th. I just realized the other day I messed the flyer up, man. I worked so hard on it, and it says 2021.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
You missed
So
that.
if you guys look at the flyer, it hasn't passed. It's coming up in 2022.
I feel like I didn't notice.
I didn't. I just noticed it the other day, and I was like, "Damn! I hope nobody, thinks they missed out." So it's coming up.
And we got a swim meet tonight.
Did you
This is what's new with our podcast.
I
I want to know what's new with you guys first. I didn't get to ask you guys.
had me and my girlfriend's 1-year anniversary this weekend?
No,
Congratulations.
that's so stinking cute.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
That's so stinking cute.
Didn't know
So stinking cute.
didn't know there was the one out there who could deal with me for such a long period of time.
Honestly, I'm surprised
Couldn't
in it
agree
too.
more.
That was the truest statement you've ever made.
Shout out to her.
I give her a lot of credit. I truly do. I had a great time in AC. That was the first time I've been to AC and didn't gamble, and it was a good feeling having money in my pockets afterwards.
I was just gonna ask if you gambled.
No, I didn't gamble. It was actually strictly just like enjoying. First of all, it's a beautiful site. I told you guys before the pod. There was actually like a small, typically when you go to the casinos, you see clubs, but there was like this little smaller bar where it was like more casual. It was just a nice environment, but we enjoyed dinner at the steakhouse.
Live music.
Yeah. No. So
Sometimes they do have it, but I don't know if they did that.
Well, I don't know about
not at the steakhouse,
in
but
the steakhouse.
no. But so we were at Golden Nugget for the steakhouse, and I went back to Hard Rock.
Mm.
And Hard Rock, there was actual live entertainment in that small bar that I was telling you about that was casual, which is why it was cool. It was
Right.
like
It's
casual
It's actually not that
live
small.
entertainment.
It's actually a pretty big bar. if it's the
Yeah,
one
I
I'm thinking
noticed
of.
that. Is it like circular? Is that the one you're thinking
Yeah,
of?
and there's like booths around the bar,
Right.
and then there's like other seating like outside of like the main bar.
'Cause I'm
area.
not-
It's right at the entrance of the Hard Rock,
Yeah.
right?
I'm not a club guy, but like that looked cool. It looked very casual.
I
It
don't
was
like going to the club. I just am not a fan of club culture.
Me either. And that looked like for a casino, especially Hard Rock, because Hard Rock's like pretty high quality, and they definitely have. I think they might have another club in there that's like an actual club. I don't know. I got to get more used to it.
I'm
But
just starting to
Yeah, you
think.
do.
Oh wait, go ahead. You can finish.
but no, it was like I'd never seen that kind of like casual bar club setting within a casino. And if there's a lot of them, then maybe I just missed them. But I haven't seen that.
Hard
setting.
Rock has one of the best bars there. If
Hard
you
Rock's really
guys
nice.
haven't been there, whoever's listening, it's kind of similar. Well, if you haven't been to Hard Rock, I kind of assume you haven't been to the live casino. But isn't it similar to the live casino how they just have that circular bar in the center, and it's
Mhm.
like a cool place to hang out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking
That's
about.
what it's like. Yeah.
But
It just makes me think if it's you and your girlfriend's 1 year together, doesn't that mean are we past our 1 year anniversary for Ball Breakers podcast?
I was gonna look into that.
Now,
actually-
didn't we start Super Bowl?
No, the week before, because the
No.
Super Bowl episode was the
It
worst
was like-
day of my
it was
entire
like 2
life.
weeks before.
That was the worst day of a lot of our lives.
Nah, this is probably right around the time.
No,
you know, I could
well,
just go look.
I actually remember we took photos and did introductions of who we are and stuff like that, and that was like during a Conor McGregor fight because we did the pictures. And
Episode 1 was January 31st.
So we're
next
creeping up.
week. Next week is our 1 year.
8 days away from our 1 year anniversary.
Wait, January 31st was our first episode,
Yes.
and we release on Monday. So January 30th. Oh my goodness, that is sick. We're gonna be right on our 1 year with our episode release.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
We were talking about it around this time, and we asked our friends, "What do you guys think is a good name for our podcast?" Even all that shit. And then we were at Skeeter's, and Rocco was like, "Yo, I've been seeing this girl, and she's my girlfriend now."
Yes.
And then we went to watch a Conor McGregor fight, and then like we recorded the next day or so.
That was a fun day.
It
I-
took us a while. We had a lot of
how could I forget?
that was a
yeah, how could you forget?
that was a great day because I remember telling my friends vividly, and I said I love this girl. I said, well, obviously I,
about that?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that on the
in
first
so many
time.
words.
Yeah, not in the first time, but I
Yeah.
said she's a great girl. I said I'm
You
excited
know,
to see where this goes. And then after that, look where it led us to the
Well-
1 year. And now we're 1 year in Ball Breakers.
So
Oh, man.
enough about you.
Just
who
Ball
am I
Breakers.
gonna, who am I
in
going to pick
general.
here? What do you think, Chris? What's new about you? What are you thinking about? Any new thoughts come in your mind?
Not much, man. To be honest, kind of just treading along this new year.
Nothing exciting happened yesterday, this past week?
Not so much, man.
Hmm.
It's a shame. It really is.
No.
I look forward to this.
You know, sometimes no news is good news. You know.
I agree. I think it's kind of hard to put into a comprehensive thought, but I'd rather just like talk about like with you guys about random shit. You know what I mean?
That is fun. The getaway from the getaway.
Because I don't really have much going on to share, you know?
Well, that's good. Like I
So-
said, no news can always be good news. Since you have really nothing to offer, Doc, what do you?
Wait, time out. Don't stop.
No, he's right.
No.
But if you want to talk about like existentialism or something, we could do that.
No, Kobe always said keeping the mind at peace was the healthiest way to live. Just saying.
That's the truth.
Yeah, Doc. Listen to these bold.
I started school, which is gonna be my last semester of like taking classes,
Nice.
and I had a really annoying week of work, and it all started Monday. The start of the week, I get into work. I got there at 9:15. I actually started working at like 9:30, and I'm doing something, and some guy at work comes up to me and he's like, "Yo, he goes, when are you gonna like graduate and do something with your life?"
Do I know this guy?
No, and I looked at him. Who says
you
that?
off.
First, I'm like, "Oh, like good morning to you too." Like, what the hell? Like,
Was it like a
Joke.
half a joke?
Chris
or-
went, no, he was like being dead serious, and I was so close to like getting fired and like telling him to like go have himself like.
I think I could probably guess who you're talking about.
And I was like, who says that though? First thing to somebody, like, when are you going to graduate
good
and
morning.
do something with your life? You're going to be like, hey, how you doing? Good morning. Like, then
Especially
be like,
from an
hey,
employee.
man, like, when are you graduating? Like, you couldn't have said it
You
like
know,
differently.
change his demeanor.
And it really just started my week off to like, I hate my life. Like,
You know,
what
a
the
lot
hell
of
is
people
that?
don't really think before they say things, and they don't realize.
Nah,
the
he's an
effect-
older guy. He's he's been at that place forever.
So
Old
you have
miserable.
You have a plan?
Yeah.
You know what you're doing?
Yeah, well, that's
Who-
what I said.
who the fuck cares
and
what
that,
he
that,
said?
that was my point. I was like, would this guy rather me like not be in school? You know what I mean? Like I could.
No, he
like,
doesn't give a fuck. He
That's what
just
I
made a
mean.
stupid comment that he doesn't even.
He
like.
doesn't. He
Now-
doesn't think about you anything outside of that comment.
I will offer you. We talked about
Mhm.
last week, right? Flipping that switch,
Yeah.
changing that conversation. You could have right there. You could have said, you know what? Instead of like being mad at this guy, maybe I'll turn it around and I'll use it as like a motivation. Like maybe this guy's right, and then you could change it, right? You could say,
No,
but no, yeah, screw
yeah,
him.
Nah, that made me
Screw
mad.
him.
And I just kind of answered his question. I said soon, and then I walked away.
You know what that just made me think of? You and Rocco's sort of conversation there. And Rocco's like, well, do you know what you're doing? I read something, and I liked it a lot. And it was from another podcast, Justin Sua. He's actually like the mental health coach for the Rays, one Florida baseball team.
That's pretty cool.
One of the Florida baseball teams. Nonetheless, he always tweets kind of like a morning motivation thing, and I listen. It's only like a 2-minute podcast every time, 2-3 minutes, and it's just like kind of affirmations and
I love motivational speeches throughout
his
my
name's
week.
Justin Sua. I don't even remember what the name of the podcast is. But anyway, he said one of the episodes a couple weeks ago, you can have no idea where you're going, but know that you're taking the step in the right direction.
Oh, 100%.
Which
like
is
that.
which is awesome, right? Like
Yeah.
even if Doc said like, nah, I don't really have a plan, but I'm taking the steps I think that are good.
You know what puts me in a great mindset is not assuming anything that's going to happen in my future. I feel like when you start predicting your future, you're already predicting your mood.
That's a good point. You try not to think too far in
I
advance.
was
do the
kind
same
of
thing.
I was kind of thinking about that at Hard Rock, right? Because I feel like I was. I swear to God, I was.
Hey, you can't
because
stop when your thoughts come. You can only change how you interpret them.
well, how many times?
Yeah.
Because it was a fun time, right? But it was a very long week, and I'm not saying that for me personally. I'm sure there's many, many, many people who work a ton of hours and then try to get out for the weekend but don't have the energy type of feeling. So I got there, and I've in my past I have done things where it's like, man, I'm tired, and like I don't know if I'm going to have a good night. It dictated my mood to where. With that, I kind of just like had an open mind to the night and just let the highway drive me to AC. And then when I was waiting in line for Hard Rock, I was like, "This is like a cool
Listen,
environment. Like I'm excited for
I
this."
texted you guys last week. My lifting coach or my CrossFit coach was talking to me, and basically I was telling him I'm bummed. I'm not like kind of in the shape I used to be in and shit like that. The most important place to be is where your feet are right now,
Yes,
and that's it.
and also,
You can't think about where you were 6 months ago. You're not the same person you were 6 months ago. You're not the same person you were yesterday. You can't think about where you're going to be. You'll drive yourself crazy. The most important place to be is right where your feet are right now.
Nice.
And also,
I like that.
you know how people, me personally, I do it a lot. You ever complain about a setback? Like something sets you back in your day. You're like, what the fuck? Like I'm trying to get ahead, and then something else happens, flat tire or something.
Setback is just a setup for a comeback.
So at first you would always hear that, right? And then after, like, if it was a day where your tire actually popped and somebody texted that to you, you'd be like, get this fucking away from me,
Yeah,
dude. I don't want
shut
to hear
up.
this.
Yo, something crazy. We talked about that last week, and I was telling everyone, your tire pops, you got to think about at least my car didn't explode. My brother's tire Monday morning, just literally shredded to pieces on 42.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, like while he was driving?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Well, because you guys know in the cold weather, you're really supposed to take care of your tires and make sure that they're inflated when the weather goes down or when the
Right.
temperature drops. I imagine that's what happened to him, but I can't speak for sure. But he was like, yo, listen to your guys' podcast. And I'm thinking, like, man, at least my car didn't explode.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh no, for sure. I've had tons of car issues, so it's the worst. It gets in the way your entire day. But yeah, if you not look forward to the setback, but if you actually look at every day as like a puzzle, and then that setback happens, and you just get ahead of your emotions, and you take that deep breath, and you're like, all right. So now the problem is I gotta get to work on time, and my car's broken. So what's the next steps? It actually turns into like kind of a cool puzzle for the day, because really, what the fuck else are you gonna be doing? Like, you only have one life. You're gonna die. You know.
Yeah.
So treat each day like a puzzle.
the only thing
There is only
that's-
one God, man.
Yo, I have a
Death.
Rocco saying. You guys want to hear a Rocco saying?
Sure.
Dude,
We
everyone
don't really have a choice. I mean, tell us, man.
everyone tells you, right? You know, live every day like it's your last, right? It's
Mhm.
kind of like a spin-off of that one. I guarantee everybody that they're going to wake up tomorrow. Everybody. I guarantee you're going to wake up tomorrow.
Can't guarantee everyone.
Well, but here's the thing,
There is
though.
no guarantees in
But-
life.
and
man.
that's the question
the
I
only
love.
two things guaranteed in life are death and taxes.
That's the question I love answering, though, because you should guarantee yourself you're going to wake up tomorrow, because then you're going to have a plan to be ready for the day. But I'll tell you what, if you don't wake up tomorrow, there's nothing you can fucking do about it anyway.
I like that.
Wait, I was just
That's
thinking
pretty good,
that was
man.
good. I actually like that, Rocco.
Guarantee yourself you're waking
Thank
up
you for
tomorrow.
that. You said that. Sorry, this is kind of like backtracking here, but you said there's nothing new at you. You're watching Game of Thrones, man. That's like
You
It's
know
a
what
big
else? I
series.
was waiting for an opportunity here. I went to a Sixers game this week
Okay.
for the first time in like.
See, there's
Probably
some-
like
you
3
got
years,
stuff going
Chris.
on.
Well, hold on. One of the things I realized when I was there is how big of a like I don't want to say celebrity, but just figure Joel Embiid is in Philadelphia. He is larger than life.
Wait,
It is
like physically
absolutely
or
insane.
metaphorically
Both.
or yeah.
I mean, if you're watching the game, he's bigger than everyone else. He's a monster of a human.
Who would be deemed the bigger Philly icon right now?
No,
one.
not right
I
now.
mean, well,
Nobody.
Right.
That's- I don't
So-
think
I mean,
anybody since
Harper's
like
up there.
Allen
Bryce Harper
Iverson.
was
He
just,
would be the only one.
He was just the MVP,
Yeah.
but baseball is undervalued.
yeah, it's not as like
All right, so yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, and one of the main reasons I realized that is because when they announce his name, when they're doing the lineups, he got the most cheers by far.
Like the barn was rocking.
Not even close. Like the other guys, it was just like a little golf clap. And then they said Joel Embiid. They didn't even have to say his name. They said a 7-foot center from, what is it? I think
Kentucky.
they say Kansas.
Or no, Kansas. He was a
Kansas,
Jayhawk,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean the place is rocking already. And then when he gets taken off, it's like it's kind of like somber in there until he comes back. When he stands up, everybody starts cheering because he's going to come back in the game. It's literally insane.
Dude,
that's pretty cool.
I love how this is tying into everything, because I think that's just his current mindset, and that constant motivation every day is why he's snapping every game and not getting tired. It's got to be like
He's
an
just-
adrenaline factor.
He really is just
better than everyone.
he's better. You can just if you watch
Well,
a
for-
Sixers game, you can tell he's better than everyone on the court.
For everyone who doesn't know, I haven't seen the tweet. Like, I don't know the specifics in front of me, but does anyone know like what his last 15 or 17 game stretch was? Can anyone like put it in
I
perspective?
think he scored like 30 plus points
He
in
just
every game.
he just set
it's
the
like
record
ridiculous.
With a couple of 50 and 40 point games,
for that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
the
had
game that I was
50
at, he had 40 and like 14
Yeah.
rebounds.
And like 80% of them were like double doubles, and one of them was
He
a
just
triple
had
double.
50
right?
against the Magic too.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to say before we get
in only
lost,
27 minutes. That's like
before I lose my train of thought, Chris was saying, they were super hyped for Joel Embiid. Somebody help this man.
Oh,
This
that's
guy
another
needs
thing.
help. That's why they probably also did. I mean, realistically, I don't have any beef with used car salesmen, but he is playing with a bunch of used car salesmen, man.
Well, I
They
think
were-
that's sorry. I think that's more of it, of why he's doing I don't. It's a motivation thing for him, saying like, "Yo,
Get me
Daryl
help.
Moore,
I'm
dude,
ready."
like,
And
let's
same
go."
with Bryce
Like,
Harper.
And
Yeah.
think about Embiid too. He doesn't have another superstar he has to share his touches with anymore. With Ben Simmons to
Yeah.
the sideline, so Joel Embiid is free reign. This is your ball team. You don't share percentages with anyone.
But he knows, and he's been open about it, that he doesn't mind being a teammate as well.
Mhm.
So basically what he's doing is proving that he can carry a team, but they're not going to win a championship like that. They really need to get them help.
Is he going to win
Get him
MVP? Because he was like not even in the conversation, and now,
continues what
really
he's
in
doing. Yeah.
like that stretch for a big man, like there's not even one game on there where it's
Yeah,
under
no,
30.
No.
I'm watching he carries the ball up. He can dribble. He can shoot threes. And he defends. He had like 3 blocks. There was a point in the game they show the stats on the board, and then they have a thing at the bottom. It says like stat leaders, and there was a point where he was leading in points, rebounds, assists, and blocks. And one guy had 2 steals and he had 1, so he wasn't leading in steals. But
Dude,
I'm
and
like, please help this man.
he had a post game interview too with one of those 17 games I forget, and it was like a crazy stat line, and it was one game that they lost. I don't remember the specifics, but in the
Probably
interview,
the game I was at, they lost and they blew a 24-point lead.
he had 5 turnovers, but the rest of his stats were ridiculous. And he said, and in his interview, they were like Embiid, how do you keep playing at the level you're playing at? He was like, I got to work on the 5 turnovers first. That's why we lost the game. And I was like, wow, what an
I mean,
answer.
Yeah, he dropped like 40, and he said, "I got to play better." Like, can you imagine?
Please.
I love
get
that. I
this
remember
him
man
saying that, and he was like-
some help.
They're like, "Oh," he's like, "I got to play better." I mean, it's crazy. Kind of reminds you of Kobe in a way. Like he would probably say the same thing.
It is. I think it's interesting how this Ben Simmons thing that's happening right now is actually elevating his game to this
Mhm.
level. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that as an option.
He's
Like, I knew he had to
basically-
play
it's
good,
like
but
an
this
F
is
you to
like
Ben.
Hall of
It's like,
Fame
I don't
level.
need you.
You know what else too about it is like the fact that what he's doing right now, like he's arguably the best player in the sport, and he's on our team and right in front of our eyes, and we
That
can
is
watch it
cool.
at any given moment.
Homegrown.
So like one of the things I think about is like how I said Allen Iverson earlier. At one point, Allen Iverson was the icon of Philadelphia, right? And obviously, it kind of went downhill. 'cause he
Honestly,
was
if
a
you think
little
about
wacky,
it,
but
up to this date, he's
He
like
still probably is.
he's
right?
still the most prominent, one of the most prominent Philadelphia athletes of all time.
right.
If
But
you,
I'm saying,
if you ask anybody, even, I mean, maybe not kids younger than us, we might be like the cutoff, but Allen Iverson's name is synonymous with the Philadelphia 76ers. And that's
Mhm.
just the way it is, and it's probably going to be the way it always is. Like,
Yeah.
he's the Dr. J to our generation, right?
Mhm.
Everyone talks about Julius Erving he's synonymous with the Sixers, but it's Allen Iverson.
and we didn't get to watch him like we did, but we were young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can't conceptualize the game the
So
way.
that's what I'm saying
we
is
do
that
now.
Joel Embiid now we're 25 years old and we can understand the game. Like you don't understand.
And we're not
everything.
pros
You don't
at
understand
it.
his real
Yeah.
impact on the team and the city when you're like 12, 13 years old. So that's why I'm saying. I mean, I haven't watched the Sixers, but when I was at the game, I was like, this is literally incredible, and I'm gonna watch every Sixers game that Joel Embiid's on the court.
hmm
Hold on, I'll be right back.
So that was really
You gotta enjoy him while we still can, because
and that's another thing. I'm thinking like LeBron James is probably 1 and 2 with Jordan, right? Like I haven't watched that many LeBron games. Like he's been in all these finals and I
Yeah.
watched that, but he also does crazy shit day in and day out.
yeah, he's a freak of nature.
And it's like I don't really watch it that much, but I should.
Yeah, let's talk about Tom Brady.
Well, I mean that's another thing.
Uh,
See, I have
yeah.
watched plenty of Tom Brady,
Yeah.
so
But
that I can
I
appreciate,
was
but I'm
talking,
also a little sick
I
of
was
him.
talking to a lot of friends about their predictions and playoff stuff, Super Bowl, whatever. It's history. We're looking at it, and like Chris is saying, our age right now, or even the years we were growing up watching him, it's ridiculous seeing what these guys can do.
And
He's-
him,
he's
it's
44,
our
bro.
entire life now. Think about that.
Yeah.
We should.
This is his 20th season, right? Or is it more?
Jeez, I don't even know,
I
but
think that it's his 20 or 21st, 22nd.
Oh, I told you the stat yesterday, right? So his win percentage is 76% before the playoffs started, before he had that first game. His win percentage was 76%. So I brought up the interesting
In the
number
playoffs.
in the playoffs. So I brought up the interesting stat, like just if you were to foreshadow it, if he goes to the Super Bowl this year, he won 3 of those games, and he would have lost the fourth one at the Super Bowl, which means he went 75%, his average would still go down if he goes to the Super Bowl,
And loses.
which is how good he is.
So the only way for him to increase his playoff
Is to win another Super Bowl.
percentage is to win another Super Bowl.
Listen, I always say this about sports, and I always hated Tom Brady because he gives us like that Yankees effect, right? Like, why are you guys so good every year? It makes you want to hate them,
Mhm.
right? Like, why do you guys do this? It's almost kind of how the Golden State Warriors were getting,
Mhm.
right? You're like, well, even though
They're
their
back though.
their players are great guys. Like, there's nothing you can really hate about Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Draymond
Yeah.
Green, I'm sure everybody has a quarrel with him.
I hope the
But
Warriors win again, just because I love their
It's gotten to a
personalities.
point, and the older I get, the more I'm realizing, wow, Tom Brady is really doing the damn thing. Like,
Once he left the Patriots and went and won a Super Bowl with the Bucks, like that's just incredible. I thought he was like a cornball, and I didn't really want the
Mhm.
Patriots
No,
to
he's
win
a-
because I thought I didn't like him that much. But when he went to the Bucks and won, I'm like, this guy. How can you not like this guy?
He's a true leader, and it really shows.
what's he looking at? 8 rings? 7 or what is
Like
It's
in,
eight.
in football, that is ridiculous.
in
It really
anything, in
Yeah, in
anything?
any sport or
Well,
anything.
I mean, yeah,
he's
for sure. But
I was just looking at his. I think I was trying to tell you guys last night. His like this is divisional round weekend in football, and he's 14-2. He's only lost twice in this round of the playoffs in his career.
I mean, how many times has he even like
This is
had
his-
the first round bye? Right, like you
A
guys
lot.
can find that.
Yeah.
He's probably only even played in like the wild card weekend or
well,
whatever. or-
technically divisional round. This would be like because there used to be 2 buys,
Mhm.
so this would be his first game.
Yeah, there's
playing.
one extra game played in of each conference in the first round this year.
Yeah, because there's only one bye team, and they both lost. So
Yeah, there's only one bye team, so that additional team that's supposed to get a bye is one added team, and then the third wild card team was the other, and they face each other. So
really,
it was,
it's just all about just appreciating greatness.
I mean, he's
Like-
44.
I wanna-
Yeah,
yeah,
like-
there's really not much else to say about it. Like,
like
why?
whether it's Embiid or Brady or LeBron or Connor
if
McDavid.
you are one
like,
of those guys, who's Connor McDavid?
But you know what I
Nobody
think the
watches
cool thing
hockey,
is
man.
though, like staying on that, like we're watching great, like Brady, like literally witnessing greatness. But
Because
it's
I've
coming to
always-
an end. Like everything
Yeah,
comes to an end.
Yeah, Chris.
I've
Yeah,
always
but,
wanted
like,
to watch
people
Jordan.
been saying it for
No,
how
yeah,
long
but it
now?
is like if he's not going to play till he's 50.
He might not come back next year.
But I'm
Dude,
saying
honestly,
is-
you don't know that.
Yeah, but the cool thing is now we're watching like all the new quarterback, like Mahomes. We're watching him. Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's saying they're the next Brady Manning,
Joe
like
Burrow.
Burrow, all these young quarterbacks. It's cool because now it's like this is like we are going to be living in this time. Like who knows how many championships Mahomes is going to win, or Josh Allen, or
Trevor Lawrence.
like all these guys. Yeah, seriously.
well, let's do this.
Because Big Ben's done, Rodgers is probably done. Brady, I mean, who knows with him? He'll probably But
You know what also is
so
kind of sad
there's no
about
one
that?
else left besides the new generation of quarterbacks.
We're getting to the point now where we've seen like a cycle of players.
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
How about that? Think about 10 years ago. We were 15. That was when we really started understanding. The
I'll never
sports.
forget
I
Peyton
just
Manning.
never
Being
want.
into it.
I just never want to be that old head. That's like when I have kids and they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, Joe Smith is the best quarterback of all
Yeah.
time, and I'm like, you boys never seen Tom Brady play.
Uh-huh.
You
Nah,
boys
there's-
never seen
that's
Patrick
crazy, though.
Mahomes.
It's-
There's not even going to be a conversation, dude. Seriously, Brady is going to
Yeah.
be the best quarterback
Mahomes
ever.
is truly
But,
the only
but
one.
you know what is so?
Yeah, but he
Mahomes,
needs
I'm
to win
sorry.
like 5.
He needs to win 10.
No.
Now, I'm sorry, Mahomes. I love him. I love
feel like
the Chiefs.
Mahomes-
They're
no, I
not.
feel
He's
like-
not going to be better than Brady.
You know what's
No.
so
It's
It's
funny
all said
though?
and done.
He might not win the amount of rings that Brady won, but he's going to shatter every statistical record he has. And
Listen,
he might still
this
win
is
4
this
rings.
is what
I
I'm
don't know
saying
about
now.
that.
No,
Like,
he is.
Shatter though.
No,
You say
shatter.
that as in like have 1,000.
well, I don't think
Dude,
Mahomes-
he's
multiple
about
thousands.
to have like he has 22 passing touchdowns in playoffs already. He's about to pass Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, and all these guys, and it's only his 4th season.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I
Yeah.
just think it's really funny. How many times have you talked to like your guys' parents or even like a grandparent? And they're just like,
Joe Namath.
Yeah.
John Elway was the best.
Montana,
of all-
Marino.
People still love
But that's
Terry
what's
Bradshaw.
crazy about sports, though, because they'll never not say
Or, like,
that Michael Jordan is not
Imagine
the best.
now, like if you were to tell your dad, your dad's like a big Mark McGuire fan, right, Mr.
Nah,
Mc-
yeah.
What if you told him like, "Yo, Jacob DeGrom far better than Mr. McGuire"? He would be like, "Are you crazy?"
McGuire would take him deep. It's like
It is
Rocco.
funny. It really. Well, it's just because if you grew up watching it and
They almost become an idol to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Like
Yeah.
for us, we've been able to watch LeBron his entire career. We've been able to watch Brady his entire career. Like it's right in front of us, and we've seen how great they've been. How are we gonna say like? I don't even know who to
It's
compare.
hard,
Dan
like,
Marino is
yeah,
better than
no.
Brady. Like, come
Well,
on.
and you can't. Well, I mean, that's a tough because Brady. Even the older people now are going to say Brady's the best because he is.
Well, he just is at this
yeah,
point.
but like when it comes like
There's
so,
no
like,
denying
basketball,
it.
like none of them are ever going to say that LeBron's better than Jordan.
Yeah, no.
Like the MVP
You know?
award should realistically be named after Tom Brady. Like,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's probably going to win his MVP again this year.
I want to do this. We did it last week. I feel like while we're on the football topic, I do want to go over the weekend of the playoffs, especially because you got another big game this week.
oh
it
my
seems
God,
like.
did I hit crazy last week? I told you
Yeah.
guys I would take the Buccaneers up to 14 points.
Let's go brief last week, only because it was probably the worst wild card weekend of all
I don't
time.
think I was right at any of my picks, actually.
What?
Well,
We
This week?
lost on Dallas, right?
Last week.
Yeah. No.
Oh, really? You were wrong on a lot of them?
remember we said like who we like and all?
You guys won the Niners.
I remember. Oh, I remember Doc's
Did I
lock.
say the
Well,
Niners?
We got to discuss that.
Well, yeah,
What
'cause you
happened
said
with
you-
Doc's lock?
You'll never bet
Um,
Dallas.
I
Yes. Well, I like them anyway. Yeah.
I don't know. Dallas stinks.
They
Well,
did what Dallas
They
does.
do
it-
what they usually do.
Was it McCarthy?
It's a
Yeah, it's a
culmination.
the whole team. Like none of them played good.
We said that too. It was like it was going to be
It's
a
gonna be
combination.
McCarthy.
It's going to be McCarthy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
he's
just none of them played good. Dak didn't play good. No one, both teams really. The Niners didn't. It's not like they did anything crazy. They won 21-17. Like it
Right.
wasn't.
Really isn't much to discuss from last week. There's a lot of blowouts, but this week, yesterday was exhilarating
Yeah.
all around the board. First game was Bengals versus Titans.
I was all
I
over the Bengals.
I didn't get to watch any of that game.
I ended up taking the Bengals.
I'll say
minus-
this
or-
about that game. That was the worst game I've ever watched in my life.
Was it?
From
It
both
kind of
teams.
seemed like
both
it.
teams.
Was it the worst game or
He got
just
sacked 9 times.
Well, isn't that just like
And
textbook
won the game.
defense?
Or is that really good by the
Joe-
Titans?
Joe
Right,
Burrow
you can
got
kinda look
sacked
both
9
ways.
times and they won. And I watched Ryan Tannehill throw 3 interceptions that were like horrible.
But I think that's
Mhm.
interesting, right? Because you're gonna sit there, not you personally. I'm gonna say people sit there and say like, "Oh, that was like a shitty game." It was just superb defense, and the Bengals
it was
made.
it was a good
every
game,
right
good
decision.
defensively played game. Like it was a
That's less exciting than a game where there's 50-yard touchdowns every other play. you
way
know?
less exciting.
That's
but,
all it is. But
But think about how the Bengals won just by field goals and how it happened to be the right decision every time. Like that's
Right.
pretty cool.
yeah.
it's like
After
like
he got
Well,
sacked
yeah,
9
it,
times.
it
Like-
comes into like if you're a head coach and you're like, well, our defense has played really well all game. I'm not gonna just try and like force a touchdown. I mean, just trust your guys.
Didn't overthink.
Yeah.
And the did you guys see the Bengals kicker? He's a rookie and he's got like all the swag in the world.
Yeah, he said, looks like we're going to that AFC Championship game.
Him and
Yeah.
Burrow, that's like a crazy combo.
And he kicked the. Did you see the video where he?
Oh, the Gatorade bottle.
I don't even know how to explain it. They were in a stadium
Did you say it?
and he put a Gatorade bottle like all the way up in the rafters basically, and he kicked a football and like just knocked the cap off the bottle. It was insane. So
Like
that kicker
yeah.
is the man.
Rocco,
That's what I'm
spit it
getting
to
at.
us, man.
Spit what to us?
It.
You want to hear our decisions?
Oh, yeah,
spit it.
That's right. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. What for the games this today?
Yeah, today.
Oh, wait,
Sunday.
wait,
Real
wait,
quick,
wait,
How about
yeah.
your boy,
We didn't.
Wait, what do you want to talk to us about?
How about
what
your
about the
boy?
second game?
Rodgers?
Yeah, we gotta discuss that real quick. I was shocked.
Most overrated quarterback of all time.
I really like the Niners.
Nah, Breeze, bro.
Nah, chill.
I mean,
Nah,
listen,
Rodgers has had much better teams than Breeze.
Yeah, Breeze is overrated though.
listen. I think that was a hysterical loss yesterday. But at the same time, I'm not that much of a Rodgers fan. I mean, I'm kind of respectful of people's accolades now. I'm never going to sit there. I'm actually a Brady fan. I'm all in on Brady because he's just the best.
I mean, dude,
But-
there's no. way
I mean,
to not.
at this point, if you don't like Tom Brady, you should have just a tattoo of hater on your
jealous,
forehead,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
But back to the game. I actually said beforehand because of the weather, and it was like a very bad combination for Green Bay. And I'm not a football guy at all.
I
You
thought
guys
that
know I'm
was
not.
wait.
if anything, that's the best.
Yeah,
that's
it's the
gonna
best
play into their
possible outcome.
favor
What?
because they were playing the Niners,
Playing
who
a
are in
California
San
team.
Fran,
right at first, right? But you're talking about a San Fran team who has a good defense
and runs the ball.
and
a lot.
runs the ball.
I see what you're saying.
I said that right from the start. I said there's a chance Green Bay can lose this game, and that it's way closer. People, I swear to
Um,
God, I said
that
it.
makes sense. It
I
does.
will get I will get Kirsten's cousin
I
on
don't
this show
really
and
need
say it
you,
himself.
Like, I don't.
No, it's
that's
not.
No,
like
because
the
every
most-
time I bring
no,
up a
no,
football
listen,
point,
can I say
it's
something?
like, fuck you.
Like there was probably
Hate
like
it.
100 million other
Whoa.
people that like said the same thing you did.
100
Yeah, no
million.
shit.
And
That's
the,
a third of America.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
The-
third America probably watched that game.
the Packers are missing Bakhtiari, correct? They missed him yesterday.
Yeah, but like you're
That's
acting
Doc's
like
boy,
it's
man.
like hard to say that like the Niners, who have like the best run game in the league, couldn't just go in there and run on them.
No, he didn't act like it's hard to say. He just made an observation.
Made an observation.
Yeah, but
yeah.
then he started freaking out, man.
Well, you did start freaking
I
out.
did start freaking out.
But
Ball
that's
breakers.
That's you always freak out.
passionate.
yeah.
yeah.
If
You're
there's
just
one thing
passionate,
about him, he's
yeah.
passionate.
Uh-huh.
You're passionate too.
You and Ryan.
Yeah, I
two
do.
passionate motherfuckers.
I do get frustrated sometimes when I talk football because I have zero credibility amongst my friends because they know like a lot more football than me. So I feel like when I got that one time, sometimes I'm like, oh, let me emphasize it. But
Well, anyway,
it's not that big of a deal. It is what it is.
I think it's honestly kind of hilarious that they lost.
It was a weird game.
Like because they should have won. They were the 1 seed, right?
hmm
Playing the 6 seed. Like, come on.
I told you guys last night, man. No, there's no should have won. It's any given Sunday, especially in playoff football. I mean, shit. Even the Lions won a couple games this year. Any
Yeah.
Sunday, it can get done.
Now let's go on to the day. We got big games today. We'll save the best one for last. First game, Rams versus Bucks.
I know you guys don't want to hear this, and I know you guys can tell that I have like quite a boner for Tom Brady, but boy, do I love playoff Lenny. And I
Mhm.
believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's playing today. And
Is he cleared?
I think
yeah,
I'm
he is.
pretty
I
sure
know,
he's playing.
Rocco, that you have ties in with the Rams, and I don't want to do this, but I would just love to see playoff Lenny hoist one, man.
Let's take a back step here real quick,
You
Chris.
already did, man.
I need to see another.
Flyers opening game, October 4th.
Oh,
How do we go from playoff
Me and
football to
Chris.
Flyers?
Me and Chris go to Live Casino beforehand, and we put in some future bets. I happen to have the Rams, and it's in this
Doc,
ticket to this
He
day.
wasn't talking about the slap hockey. Relax.
Yeah, not
I
wanna
know
talk
you
about
have
slap
ties. I know
hockey.
you have ties in the Rams, and I do apologize, but I like the Buccaneers, man.
I like the Rams. I'm Team Rams. I want the Rams to win the Super Bowl, actually.
I think
if
that
the
this.
Chiefs don't win.
I think this week should be the Super Bowl. I think the Rams and Bucks should just play each other
Yeah.
because realistically, on
Really,
paper,
it's really
when
Yeah.
it's the NFC Championship and AFC Championship right
Mhm.
now.
when you
No, it is. The Bills and the Chiefs are
Yeah.
100%.
I think that if you look on paper and you look at the team of the Buccaneers, and I know we talked about last night, Rocco's, they don't have Chris Godwin, whatever, who else, Antonio Brown. If you match them up, paper to paper, it is the perfect matchup.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Aaron Donald, defensive MVP every year type deal, and then you look on the other side,
Von Miller.
and they have Von Miller now. You look on the other side, they have Shaq Barrett, who Golston, whatever, you know what I
White.
mean? White. These are
The AFC
or
champ.
no, not Shaq Barrett. What am I talking about?
He's on the team.
But yeah,
No,
see
he's
what I'm
on the
saying?
Bucks.
Oh,
yeah.
on
You
Rams.
look at everybody, and you're like, holy shit,
Mm-hmm.
this is crazy.
it's like two super teams going at it.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know about
Yeah, it's
the
going to be a
NFC.
good one.
I don't know about the NFC being a complete wash with the NFC Championship because the Niners are very hot. But I
Yeah.
will say the Bengals winning made that AFC a lot easier, knowing that team, whoever wins, is going to be home.
Yeah. Well, but I mean the Bengals are drawing a little heater too.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
let's not count out the
And
hot
again,
hand.
hand.
Sunday, man.
But like you said, it wasn't the most convincing win. It was like they kind of got by.
Yeah, but they
Hey, you gotta
are,
win.
They're gonna fight.
One
the
game at a
Bengals
time,
are
yeah.
gonna be. They're a team that is gonna be in it no matter what. Even
Right.
if they play the Chiefs and the Chiefs are a way better team, the Bengals will make it a game.
And we
They
talked about it last week briefly when we were talking about the Steelers and the Chiefs matchup.
will. That was funny.
And
That
you
was
know,
funny.
when you ask how do you win against the Chiefs, you're going to have to score more than them. And to be
Oh my
completely
God,
honest,
yeah, dude.
the Bengals have that firepower.
Yeah.
You look on the left
see what you're
side, you have
saying.
T
Yeah.
Higgins. You look on the right, you've got Jamar Chase. You look to the slot, you have Tyler Boyd. And then in the
Joe
running
Mixon.
behind the line, you have Joe Mixon, who's had one of the best seasons, maybe the best season he's ever had.
Mm-hmm.
So let's.
And Joey B. Don't forget about.
They have the firepower
The
to do it.
goat.
all right,
Joey
so
B.
Doc's the Chiefs fan, right? So let's do this. Let's get his pick on the Rams and the Bucks, and then after that, let's go over the Chiefs game, and then I want to play out the scenario if the Chiefs were to play the Bengals, and then we'll call it the show. So let's. What's your decision on Rams Bucks?
Yeah, what is it?
I want
Who
the
is it?
Rams to win, but I think the Bucks are going to.
So who are you
there's-
picking? Who do you want to win? Who are you gonna pick?
Like if your
What
money
is
was
it?
on it, who would it be?
Yeah.
Probably
You
the
said
Bucks.
the Bucks.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You guys are
Alright.
grilling my man.
Well, no, it's
making sure.
Just because it's one of those things, it's like, oh, like
You have
You
Tom.
bet the Rams and they lose. It's like you really bet against Tom Brady, and he does
Yeah.
it all the time. Like,
Then if you
Right.
bet the
but
Bucks
I do
and
think
they
the Rams
lose,
right now are a better team, like health wise.
The only thing that I will say is when it comes down to it, and you have the Commander in Chief, Tom Brady,
Gotta
versus
roll
the
with him,
Commander in
man.
Chief,
Got Master Splinter, man.
Matt Stafford, and we look at both sides, and Matt Stafford has been a prisoner in Detroit his whole career. Has he even won a playoff game?
He last week. Was
Yeah,
his
last
first
I
the
mean,
first one.
exactly. And
He
then
won
we
one.
think
Don't
about
worry.
that, and then we think about Tom Brady, who's 14-2 in the divisional round, who has no problem when the barn's rocking. He's
Mhm.
home.
I believe
It's-
the widest variance for the key to the game, which could happen either way, is just Stafford protecting the ball.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
needs to play like
He's gotta be a game
need-
manager.
Yeah, he needs
Because
to-
if he throws
It's really
picks
gotta
and
be
it's all
fumbles,
going to
fumbles,
come down to him.
it's going to come down to that, I
Yeah.
believe.
it's
Yeah.
gonna come down to him.
Because if you look at everybody, you look at Chris Godwin, Cooper Kupp, or even go Chris Godwin's not in, or you look at like their receiving cores, they're only as good as what's going to happen with their quarterback. Obviously, the defenses, like we touched on, are great.
Well, if Brady turns over the ball, that's just something you don't expect. It's like, all right, that's a bonus. But in truly looking in this game, you know he's not going to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know that both defenses are going to be strong. You know that there's a run game established for both teams in which it's favoring the Bucks for sure. But Stafford's the one where he could throw 0 picks and 350 yards and take this game away, or he throws 250 yards and 2 picks and it's over.
My
you know?
my biggest thing that I say is, like I was trying to touch on, is just it just comes down to playoff experience for me.
All
You
right.
look at a guy
you
who's
think
got
Brady's
all
gonna
of
be
it.
nervous? Like, do you
No.
think he get not? I don't mean like for this game. I'm saying, do you think he gets nervous?
Maybe
genuinely?
I
maybe
think
in
it's-
his
Not anymore.
That's what we talked.
Maybe
Maybe
the
we talked
Super
about this
Bowl.
last week. I think it's like more of a he
He's
gets
excited.
excited.
this is
Right.
routine for him. He has no trouble playing 20 games a season.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a walk in the park.
I think once
Maybe
you're
in
already
his 7th year he would get nervous, but
Yeah.
now he's at 23 and he's like, it's just another year of football, man.
And he's working on his 8th championship, not like his 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah,
I feel like once you're that established, you have to look at it as like, this is kind of fun now.
Yeah. It's probably been like that for him for the last 10 years, honestly, but I just think it's funny to think about.
so now let's
Yeah.
dive in, Rock.
This is it. This is my favorite part because Doc's got, so we all have favorites of teams, and Doc's for sure probably got the most powerful of the favorites of teams amongst the 4 of us, which is the Kansas City Chiefs. And they are going against
My
the
favorite team, too.
dangerous Buffalo Bills. And this is the most nerve-wracking match for Doc and his Chiefs. So let's go with you two first, and then give the spotlight to Doc because this is his game he's worried about.
What even is the line?
Chiefs -1.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that means the Chiefs are not a favorite, really.
Technically, no.
Yeah.
Everyone. It's the Bills have like a 55% chance to win the game or whatever.
If you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? I do want to talk about this. I heard the other day that actually when they say that a line is like -3, you just get home field advantage.
Yeah.
But it's actually not really true.
Nah, it's a
It'll-
little bit less.
No, it all depends though, because when you go to Denver, their favorite for being home is actually somewhere like -4.5 because of the altitude and all that stuff. And then now you factor in playoffs, so they'll change that and say, oh, it's actually really -4 or -5. So
I don't think it doesn't get to -4 or 5 though. I'm pretty sure because I actually seen somebody did that in terms of statistics. Basically ran the history of the NFL basically based on the point percentages, and yeah, it was between like 0.8 points to like 3.5, depending on the stadium and the situation.
give my statement. I want the Chiefs to win for Doc, but I would not be surprised if the Bills won. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised.
So what if your life depended on it though? Like obviously it wouldn't, but what would your diehard pick
if
be?
like they're holding me to a wall and they say I'm gonna kill you unless you pick the right team, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs actually. Because to be honest, I mean it only takes, it could be a 15-second drive and they could go 100 yards. Tyreek Hill 40 yards, Travis Kelce 40 more, Patrick Mahomes gives a touchdown pass to a lineman, and it's
Mhm.
boom. You know what I mean? That's 15 seconds.
Yeah,
I
fair.
think that Josh Allen is going to have a very long and successful career, and eventually he's going to get to the Super Bowl, but I just don't think this year. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that he's going to be a little shook in Kansas City, and they beat them earlier in the year, right? The Bills beat the Chiefs. They destroyed them. I just think
N-
the
Not
Chiefs are just going to be so
not for
ready.
nothing. We can all agree, I'm sure, that the Chiefs are just the most exciting team in football.
Yeah, they're just
And
fun
we
to
want
watch.
to we
and-
want to see them win. Truthfully, I mean, who wants to see the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl so Josh Allen can throw 50 passes? You know, because they don't run to Devin Singletary, whoever's running really.
I just think that I think the Chiefs are just going to be so ready for this game, and I think they're just going to come out and not destroy them, but it's going to be a good game.
But
I
that's
think they're
like
going to
the
win.
best thing though. Like the Chiefs are totally capable of just scoring 80 points any
Mhm.
given week. Like
So do Bills.
I have
nah, but the Chiefs, baby.
Yeah.
I have 2 quick statements, and I'll let Doc take the entire thing. I once read a book that was about gambling, and when they started creating lines, I found out that they would make lines with very little mathematical reasoning to it. It was actually to get the most reaction out of people. That's how it began. Thought that was a fun fact that I wanted to share.
Huh.
Secondly,
Makes sense.
people hate me. People hate this statement. I just don't trust the Bills in playoffs, like to go further than the Chiefs.
I agree.
I don't. I think
But we wouldn't be surprised
I
if they
actually
won.
I told Doc last night. I said I think the Chiefs go down 17 and win this game.
Yeah, that's like what I'm saying. Like that's their shit. Like who's to
I
say
truly believe the Chiefs go down 14-17 and win this game. And I know what Doc's going to say, so this is where I'm going to let him take the floor.
All right. Well, I'll say this: I don't think the Chiefs can afford to go down 17 to the Bills.
This would be the team not to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
because
at this point, yeah.
It's
They
not the
are on a
Texans.
high. The Bills have no. They can only. That's a good thing. They can only go down. Bill after 48 points last week. See, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but they played a shitty team.
I know,
But
but
so did the
this is
Chiefs.
why I like this because last week,
Yes.
last week they played New England. That's their division rival. It's all this built up like 20 years of dominant Patriots. And I just hope they didn't blow their load last week against that team because now they're coming into Kansas City and. All right, yeah, I think the Chiefs win. Obviously, I'm not going to say that, but the Bills are good.
Would you be honest if you truly felt they were going to lose?
Yeah,
No, he's never said that.
yeah.
He has never said the Chiefs are going to lose.
No, that's not true because I remember what was it whenever they played the Raiders and they lost to them and Doc was like,
Yeah,
I
but it was
could
a regular
I don't
season
trust this game.
game.
I was like, yeah. All right, but real quick,
Maybe once in the last 6 years.
I keep seeing all this like the picture last year of like Diggs and like watch the Chiefs celebrate and well, yeah, no shit, they're gonna celebrate in their home field. But I hate that because they're like, oh, they use it as motivation. But not one person's taking the Chiefs. I don't know if you guys noticed that, like in all the like talk shows and it's all Bills. And I was like, don't you think like that? Like, number one, the Bills came into Kansas City earlier this year and blew the Chiefs out. Okay, talks of them not being good anymore all year. Like they have motivation shit too. Like you know what I mean? That's why I hate like those.
That's why I think they're going to be so prepared.
Yeah, and they were out 5 defensive starters that first time they played them, and they're a whole different team. It's a whole different game.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be I think the Chiefs win 31-28. That's my prediction.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's just football.
It's
man.
just football.
There's bigger things in
But
life.
and what Rocco said, I always said this. I love Josh Allen, and like you, Chris, I think he's gonna have a great career. But until he wins that game, like where like this is the game where he's like,
he'll take
it's
that next
more-
step with
yeah.
winning this game.
because they're not gonna lose. Whoever wins this game isn't losing to the Bengals.
That's another thing too. This is like his game.
This is
and
his
Mahomes
game. It's
has
his.
been
It's
here.
his time because it's Mahomes. If the Chiefs win, they're going to be in the 4 straight AFC Championship games. You want to go to the Super Bowl, you got to go through Kansas City. That's how it is now. How it used to be with New England.
It's funny you mentioned that. It's not my lack of trust isn't even in Josh Allen. It's really like just the combination of the Bills getting over that hump.
Just the
Yeah.
Bills in
Right.
general.
Yeah. It's
No,
really-
I
I
understand
agree.
that.
I mean, it's history repeats itself, man.
Yeah, that's
That's
all it
just
is.
how it goes.
And listen, if it happens, I'm gonna tell people I was wrong. Like, but that's just my. And I said it last year too. I said it to Vic. I was like, Vic, there's just something about the Bills I don't trust, and they got knocked out of the playoffs.
But
in a
and
matchup
I
they
also
weren't
think
supposed
that like the NFL is like, everything just setting up for just a Mahomes Brady rematch in the Super Bowl.
to. That would be cool.
You know what I mean? Because it's like
Yeah, you think
after
Especially
last
after
year.
What do you think, it's
Rodgers got
fixed?
knocked out.
It really might be fixed.
I
honestly.
mean, like, come on, like everything's setting up that way.
And I do want to.
Both number 1 seeds lose. If Tampa wins, their home team next week. If the Chiefs win, their home team next week. It's like everything's setting up again for like, all right, we're gonna get a Brady versus Mahomes round 2.
No, just for Mahomes to lose to
I know.
Brady. Fuck.
Trust me, I know. If that happens, I would. Oh,
that would be funny.
that would be horrible. But
Before Earl rounds us
yeah,
off,
yeah, Chiefs 31-28.
let's
Final
assume
prediction.
the Chiefs win because we won't be able to get this prediction in before the episode Monday. So I want to hear a prediction now. Say the Chiefs play the Bengals. What do you think happens, and what would be the reason you guys lose? Because I'm assuming that you think you're going to win big
if the
against
Chiefs
that team.
if the Chiefs win, I think they absolutely like air the Bengals next week.
Okay, and what would be the only
Shocker.
reason the Chiefs because there's always a reason you lose a game.
I
What's the
just-
most likely reason the Bengals win that game? Is it strictly
They
their
outscore them.
offense? Yeah.
It'll have
it's
to be like the
because
first game.
they score more points.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
then
literally.
they have to win.
in technical speaking,
I think if the
of-
Bills play the Bengals next week, they air them. Whoever wins this game
if they
is going
score
to the
more
Super Bowl.
points,
in-
100%.
yeah, like Chris said, in technical speaking, usually in sports, the main objective is to score more points than your opposition. So
Yep.
if you scored more points than your opposing team, you're going to win. That's like how football is played usually.
It's funny.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, no,
All-
yeah,
to
no,
answer
you're
your
right.
question, Rock, the Bengals, they got to score more points. If they score more
But they
than
do.
the Chiefs,
Earl's right.
they
They
win.
do have the offensive firepower.
No,
to
I know what
do
you're
it.
saying.
There's
yeah.
a team, right? And if you look at the Buffalo Bills, I'm not sold on any of their running backs. I don't think that those guys are the
I'm
guys.
not even sold on the receivers. They have Diggs.
I love Diggs, man.
No, he's a freaking
No, but
stud.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you look at the Bengals roster, they have everything to keep into that 45-45
to
game
score
with
more
the Chiefs.
points.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. And I'll say one last thing: the Chiefs need to stop Josh Allen from running the ball. They
man,
can't
is
let
he
him run the
athletic.
ball for 70 yards because
I'm
then
stoked
it's
for
a
this
whole
game.
different
Man,
game.
is
If
he
he runs for
athletic?
70 yards, it's
He looks
gonna
really
be,
good in shorts.
He's sneaky
Oh, yeah, he
athletic.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for this game. All right, let's get ready for the playoffs. Earl, you have anything you want to round this out on?
No.
You want me to take it out?
Off with it.
I,
All
did,
right, guys.
I told you guys last week I want to start you guys off. I guess I'll just give it to you again. Most important
Yeah,
place
give
for
it
you
to
to
me.
be right now is where your feet are right now. You're driving to work right now. You're listening. What's wrong with just kind of being where you are right now? Don't think about when I get to work, I'm going to be so slammed. Next week is going to be busy at work, or last week it was so crazy, blah, blah, whatever. Where you are right now is the most important time of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just that. I mean, how much more can I give it to you guys?
Guys, what we want out of you guys, this is your getaway away from life, and also we'd like to try to inspire new ideas as
New
we
ideas.
new ideas, yeah.
We love
Little
the new
new slang.
ideas.
The new ideas. Let's inspire some new ideas, and also on our end, we're trying to get some events and merchandise going, shirts,
Buy a shirt. Come see us. X Athletics in
workout
Brooklyn.
19th, and
February 19th, 2022. It's not 2021. Don't listen to the flyer. We'll see you guys next week.
Gotta
boom,
win
boom, boom,
Monday.
boom, bang, bang.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
Go Chiefs.